I'm about to tell you the most insane behind the scenes story as to why news leaked out today that this guy, Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer, would be retiring from the Supreme Court. Now, this is wild, so make sure you watch all the way until the end, and I want to see your comments below. First, and this won't take long, we have to start out with a little history. Progressives have been openly calling for Stephen Breyer to retire from the Supreme Court, and they're not doing this in any kind of secret meetings. As I said, they're doing it in public. Here's MSNBC from early last year.
There is now a renewed concern among many on the left that if Justice Breyer does not retire while Democrats have control of the Senate, they could lose their narrow window to replace him.
All right, look at all these headlines. This is MSNBC, CNN, NPR, The Hill, Insider. What's the rush? Why are you trying to push this man out the door after all he's done on the Supreme Court? Oh, yeah, that's right. There's a midterm election coming up. Why is that important? Well, it's just one of many things. But again, stick with me. There's been a lot of push for this guy to retire. In fact, here's Demand Justice, one of many, many groups doing this. They say we need to start the process of confirming a black woman justice now. Sign the petition to tell Justice Breyer, put the country first, don't risk your legacy to an uncertain political future. Retire now. This was in April of last year. It seems like even at that point, these folks were really concerned about the midterm elections and if that would spell trouble for them. In fact, in the case of Demand Justice, they put this thing out on the street. They put Justice Breyer's face on it and just said, Breyer, retire. And they said it's time for a black woman to be a Supreme Court justice. Why would they be asking about a black woman in particular for the Supreme Court? Let's flash back to this.
I committed that if I'm elected president and have an opportunity to appoint someone to the courts, I'll appoint the first black woman to the courts. It's
all right.
Required that they have representation now. It's long overdue.
So you heard Biden there promising during the primaries that he was going to elect a black woman to the Supreme Court. Well, have they changed their mind on that yet? This is where it gets really interesting, okay? Stick with me.
A lot of news out there today, so let me reiterate something that you've heard the president say, and I also said over Twitter. It's always been the decision of any Supreme Justice, if they decide to retire, how they want to announce it. That remains the case today.
All right, it's always been the decision of somebody on the Supreme Court, if and when they want to retire, to announce it the way they want to. This is very important, and I'll explain why in just a moment. But she is now going to reiterate Joe Biden's pledge to put the first black woman on the Supreme Court. I'll tell you who these potential Supreme Court justices are and what's going on with them in a second as well.
So we're not going to have a details. You are always welcome to ask any questions you like at any time, and there's a lot of news out there. But I just want to say that at the top. Josh, go ahead.
She look a little happy to you?
Subject. Let's say hypothetically.
Everybody's in a good mood.
Was higher and announce it on his or her own term. Does President Biden plan to honor his pledge to nominate a black woman?
Well, I've commented on this previously.
Listen to this.
The president has stated and reiterated his commitment to nominating a black woman to the Supreme Court.
All right, she's saying, yes, he is going to stand by that. Now, why is all this important? Here we go. Thank you for being patient. Well, Justice Breyer was not planning on announcing this today. He was just as shocked by this information as anybody else was. Now, at first, they described him as upset with how this is played out. And they're saying we're waiting official notice from his office or from the Supreme Court of the United States Public Information Office. A bit more clarity. I'm told Justice Breyer had firmly decided on his own to retire and that an announcement was due very soon. But someone jumped the gun on this. But they're saying, he's not upset. He's just surprised by all of this. So Breyer did not know they were going to announce his own retirement, which is what Psaki just said every Supreme Court justice has full control over. Maybe not. Well, why would they be announcing this information? Why? Well, the White House was probably alerted by Justice Breyer that this was going to happen, but that hang on, the announcement is on the way. Why would the Biden administration jump the gun on the announcement? Have they been having any bad news cycles lately? Would it benefit them to really rush this thing through and get that new Supreme Court nomination going? Maybe, Maybe, or maybe I'm a little cynical here. The top 5 SCOTUS picks to watch from Jake Tapper. This is the big name everybody's talking about. Ketanji Brown Jackson, United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia. All these women are black, by the way. Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of California, Leandra Kruger. Judge J. Michelle Childs, United States District Court for the District of South Carolina. Sherilyn Ifill, President and Director Counsel of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. And Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of North Carolina, Anita Earls. You only need to know that first name because she is the very, very likely candidate already cleared by the Senate 2 different times. Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson is among the leading candidates to succeed Justice Breyer. Or is she? Little conspiracy cherry on top? Let's see where this goes.
And let me ask you a couple other questions. Is there any scenario in which the president would select his Vice President Kamala Harris for the Supreme Court?
Again, I'm not going to speak to any considerations, preparations, lists, and as we've stated earlier, and you heard the president say, there's a long history of Supreme Court justices determining when they may retire, if they retire, and announcing that.
Yeah, except for in this case where Justice Breyer didn't do it, and it's kind of clear as to why this happened. Let me know what you think about this. Will they throw everybody for a loop and put Kamala Harris up? Gets her out of the way at the White House. Maybe that's what somebody's looking for. Do you think this is all good news? What are you thinking about Justice Breyer's retirement ? Let me know in the comments below. As always, I appreciate you watching. Facebook.com/thenewsjunkie. Hit that like or follow button. YouTube.com/thenewsjunkie. Hit subscribe. I appreciate you and your comments, and I'll be responding to them. We'll talk to you again real soon.